Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are starting a very important topic in electronics, the data converters. That means digital to analog converters and analog to digital converters. And in this first video we'll study DAC using binary weighted resistors. So why do we need DAC? That is the digital to analog converter. So digital systems like microprocessor, microcontroller, computers and digital circuits work using 0 and 1. But the real world around us is mostly analog, like sound, temperature, pressure, light intensity, biological signals, all very continuously. So a digital system must somehow communicate with this analog world. So that is where DAC comes into picture. So what does DAC do? So a DAC converts the digital signal to a analog signal. And in simple words, binary input is given and corresponding analog voltage is obtained across the output. So digital signal, suppose we are providing a 1010 digital sequence and correspondingly we have to generate an analog signal. So suppose analog signal of around 2.5 volts. So this is how we convert, or this is the primary requirement of our DAC converters. That means we will be given with a digital input and across the output we should get an analog signal. Right. So for this example around us, like audio systems, music players, sensors, instrument, communication system, and control systems. So whenever digital data produces a real analog output, a DAC is working in the background. So in binary weighted resistor, how it works. So now let us come directly to the binary weighted resistors. So to understand the DAC circuit based on binary weighted resistor, the name itself tells us that is something important. So for binary resistor, each resistor value is a weighted according to 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, and so on. So that means every digital bit contributes differently to the output. So the MSB, as we know, if we are considering a digital sequence, then the leftmost bit represents the MSB and the rightmost bit represents the LSB. Okay, so every digital bit contributes different to the output, like MSB has the highest contribution, while the LSB, the least significant bit, has the smallest contribution. So the basic idea here is the circuit mainly contains switches, weighted resistors, and op-amp summing amplifier. So its digital input controls a switch. So in the circuit diagram, as you can see here, where till now I have shown here the feedback resistance RF, then we are considering a resistor R across the input, and this is our input. And this input will be connected either to the 5 volt or to the 0 volt by a switch. So let us consider this is a switch by which we are going to connect it. Okay, so this is for one signal. Now similarly we can get, depending on our requirement, that means suppose if we require 4 bits, then we have to draw 4 lines and put 4 resistors, and then finally it should be a summing amplifier. Okay, so we have a 4-bit system here. So suppose this is B0, which is the LSB, then B1, B2, B3. So this is B1, then B2, then B3, and these are the corresponding switches. So whenever we require, suppose 0001 we require, then we have to provide a voltage of 0005. That means B0 will be connected to this line. Okay, then if we require 0010, then we have to send 0050. That means B1 should be connected to this line. Okay, and so on. So in binary weighted resistor, as we have seen, that each input should be provided with different resistances. So the resistance value decreases as we increase the number of bits. So that means if we go for B1, it becomes R by 2. Then if we move to B2, it becomes R by 4. And for B3, it becomes R by 8. And these numbers are nothing but 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, and then 2 to the power 3. So first one is 1. So that is why this is R by 1. Then second value 2 to the power 1 is 2. So this is R by 2. Third value is 2 to the power 2 is 4, so R by 4. And fourth value is 2 to the power 3, that is 8, so R by 8. And so on. If we increase the number of bits, then we have to increase it in the same sequence. Okay. So now here the circuit, as you can see here, this is represents a summing amplifier where we have 4 inputs and the feedback resistance is RF. So let us consider this value to be 1 kilo ohm, and let us consider this is 10 kilo ohm, and considering this resistance value is 10 kilo ohm, and the corresponding value will decrease accordingly. Like the next value will be 5 kilo ohm, then next will be 2.5 kilo ohm, and then accordingly to 1.25 kilo ohm. Okay, so now how this circuit will work. So if you remember the operation of the summing amplifier, then whatever voltage comes here, that will appear across the output as a sum of these inputs and multiplied by the gain. So since, as we can see here, we are providing 1 kilo ohm resistor. So let's see what would be the gain of the circuit and what we are going to actually get across the output. Okay, for the first condition, that is 0, 0, 0, 0, that means we are not providing anything. So across the output also, we are going to get 0. So across the output also, we are going to get 0 voltage. Okay, so now next coming to the next bit, so that is 0001, that is 0005, we are providing, that means we are connecting B0 to the plus 5 volt line. So now let's see what will happen. So if we are providing B0 as 5, then the current, suppose the current here will be I equals to V by R. So the voltage is 5 volt, the resistance is 10 kilo ohm. So the current is 0.5 milliampere, right? So now, as we know, this voltage V2 and V1 are given by V2 equals to V1 equals to 0, and also we know the offset is neutralized by this value IB to be 0. So whatever current comes here, suppose this is I0, so whatever current is appearing here, same current will go to the output, right? Since this current is 0, IB is 0. So that means this current I0 0.5 milliampere will go to the output. So the V0 value for 0.5 milliampere will be 0.5 milliampere multiplied by 1 kilo ohm. So both the milliampere and kilo ohm will get cancelled. So the value will be 0.5 volts. Okay. So for the first case, we are going to get 0.5 volt across the output. Now next move to the next value. So for the next value, we are providing B1 to be 5 and remaining all are zeros. So let me write it here, B1, B, this. So B3, B2, B1, B0. Okay. So now we are providing B1 to be 5, then B0 to be 0. So for this, I1 will be, so the value of voltage that appears here will be 5 volt only. So 5 divided by, this time the value will be R by 2. So R by 2 means 10 by 2. So the value will be coming as 1 milliampere. So V0 will be 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 multiplied by 1 into 10 to the power 3. So the value is 1 volt. So for this, we're going to get 1 volt, right? Now next 0011. So that means we have to provide this. Now here, if you see, for the first signal, that means for the one value, the value of B0 was 5. And for the second one, we had B1 to be 5. Now we are having both B0 and B1 to be 5, 5. So that means whatever we are getting across the output will be nothing but summation of these two. So for the 0001, we have obtained 0.5 volt. For 0010, we have obtained 1 volt. So the 0011 will be 0.5 plus 1 will be 1.5 volt. And similarly, it will continue. For example, next will be this, that means 0100. For this, we'll be having 5 divided by 10 divided by 4. So the value will become 2. And after multiplication, the value is 2 volt. right? So if you see, we are increasing at a step of 0.5 volts, right? And it is applicable because we are providing here with a 1 kilo ohm resistor. So that is why the conversion that we are getting is uniform. So now if we plot this, now since as we know here, we have already working with a inverting amplifier. So whatever voltage we are getting across the output will be negative because we are working with inverting amplifier. The same operation can also be done with non-inverting amplifier. Okay. So now for the first instant, we are getting 0. Then for the 0th instance, we are getting 0. Then next for the first, we are getting value as minus 0.5. For the next instant, we are getting the value as minus 1. For the third instance, we are getting it as minus 1.5. And for the fourth, it is minus 2.0. And it will continue like this. Okay. So now this sequence can be generalized and can be written using a formula. The output voltage is given by a generalized formula, which is minus RF by R1, as we remember, because we are considering a inverting terminal. So RF will remain outside and R1 will, as we know, the value of R1 is different for all the cases. So it will be, for B0, it will be R. Then for B1, it will be R by 2. Then B2 will by R by 4. Then next B3 by R by 8. And it will continue in the same manner. Okay, so this is the generalized equation for the output voltage V0. So now, as we have seen, we can use this for conversion of digital to analog. But the main drawback that we obtain here is this decreasing value of R. Now, since we are using fixed resistors, or we have to use fixed resistors here, then it is difficult to find fixed resistance values if we are using this binary weighted resistors. So due to the binary weights, it is difficult to get the values. So for example, suppose for 10K, it is not an issue because 10K is already available in the market. But 2.5 is difficult. Then 1.25 will be further difficult because we do not have 1.25 or we do not have 1.3. We can directly go to 1.2 or 1.5. So that will be difficult. Then 5K, that is also difficult because what we get is 5.6K in the market. So as we are having values which are decreasing in binary weighted form, so the obtaining of these values are slightly difficult. In practice, however, the steps may not all be the same size because of the variation of the logic high voltage levels. So as if you can see that the size of the steps depend on the value of RF. Therefore, the desired step can be obtained by selecting a proper value of RF, provided that the maximum output value does not exceed the saturation level of the op-amp. The problem with the D2A converter using binary weighted resistor is that it required binary weighted resistors, which may not be readily available, especially if the number of the inputs are more than 4. So an attractive alternative is to use R-2R resistors for D2A converters, since it requires only 2 sets of precision resistance value. So what is R-2R resistor and how we can convert digital to analog, that we will be going to see in the next video. So I hope you have understood how this binary weighted resistors work and how we can simplify the logic into the summing amplifier and how we have obtained the generalized output equation. Okay, so if you have any doubt, then do put it in the comments and do like, share and subscribe to our videos so that you don't miss any content. Thank you for joining. Keep learning.